pirates and...
Good evening! Welcome to Damage Does D&D. Tonight we're playing Pirates, otherwise known as the Elusive Tide, with our Game Master, Pirate Master, Jade. Take it away.
Right. So, last we joined in with the adventures of the Elusive Tide, they had only recently acquired two new, maybe, crew members in the form of Eyeless Tideswell and Bulkin. And they set off sailing towards Orala's tomb in the hopes of a well-needed rest for everyone involved on the crew. They, in their travels, a couple of the crew spotted another island off to the side. Another one of these islands that had evidently been raised from the bottom of the sea, as there was a tower with seaweed hanging from the roof. Upon investigating the island, they found a person on the island, one Aldris Benoit, who was eventually was invited to join the crew. He tried to invite himself onto the crew several times before that.
A deal's a deal.
After some climbing magical traps and surfing statues down the inside of a crumbling tower, the crew was able to obtain some treasure to fill their coffers once more, especially after the major theft that had only recently happened. I believe that was everything that happened. It was a very chill session. So we're going to pick up with you sailing towards Orala's tomb. You're a couple of hours away. So if there's anything anyone would like to do, let me know.
All of the repairs were taken care of. There was about a day's travel or so, wasn't it, to Orala's tomb?
Yeah, so all of the repairs are pretty much done. You guys got away pretty lightly from the encounter with the Blue Blades. And between you, Janine, and Beck, you were able to get most of it done quite easily.
Yeah. I think Klein, after meeting their new companion, whilst the ship is in the sea, he's just going to kind of stand up on the bow and just again loosely kind of like hold his trident, so it's sort of like balanced in his hand, so it's not like he's not grabbing hold of it but like flat, and just to see if it's still pointing, because it was pointing towards Orala's tomb the last time I checked, just to see if there's any like wavering or if it's still definitely like there.
And make a perception check for me, please.
It's not going to be good. What's his perception? Oh, okay. 12.
12. It kind of very gently turns towards Orala's tomb. It's not kind of quick and strong, like a strong signal, to describe it. Not like the signal towards Moonsong was. This is gentle. It occasionally kind of drifts a little bit to the north and then drifts back to Orala's tomb. And kind of doing that.
Okay. I think Klein will just take note of that, knowing where that's led them before.
I will say, as you kind of do this, you notice that part of the metalwork has changed on the trident itself.
What part?
Where the three prongs are coming up from the shaft, you can see three indentations. Just kind of as it kind of curves out and then goes into the three pikes. And at the base of those three pikes, there are these small indentations that look like they've been cut into the metal.
What do the indentations look like?
Make an investigation check for me.
Oh, that's not as good as my perception. Oh, but a better roll. Investigation. 17.
Apologies, just responding to a message. Um, they look all the world to you with the 17. They look all the world to you like the indent of a gemstone, almost like a cut gemstone would be placed here, but there isn't one. And you've not known there to be gemstones on your trident except for the moonstone that you had.
Yeah, the one which, well, I think it started glowing when after I'd done the trial.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that and think about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take
So,
some.
Klein, what's your passive perception?
Passive is 14.
14. Okay. As you go to grab your trident, you turn around, you're suddenly faced with Balkin right behind you.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt. You look like you were doing something.
Hang on, let me think of my accent because I've just got Ben Wire's accent in my head.
I apologise.
No, my apologies because I said about it. Yeah, I was Balkan, but what do you need? What's up?
You can help actually. Like, Phineas, the captain, seems very grumpy. How can I make him like me?
Well, right. I'm not entirely sure that. Well, I don't think it is you, but it is a little bit you. But past few days, weeks, and that haven't exactly been easy. We lost our original captain. Phineas took over, and then.
Yeah, this wasn't the question.
Yeah, but. Right. Don't pressure him. Don't go up for hugs all the time. And just do as you're told.
Define all the time. That one a day?
Like, not one every day. This is
Right.
about as.
Okay.
Like, you seem like a person that likes to hug people and say hello as soon as you meet them. And for many times afterwards. But don't do it all the time with the captain. Maybe before you think about doing it, to anyone who's on board this ship, have a look at me and give me a little bit of a nod so I can nod back or shake my head to say no.
Okay. Well, what if you're not there?
Then you judge it best to see what you think is fit to do at that time.
Okay. Well, I finished all my jobs now, so what do I do? Just
Go and see quarantine again and see if there's anything else that there's to do.
is it quarantine? I thought it was quarantine.
It's one of the two. 50-50, so guess it right.
Well, no, I want to get it right.
I think she has a go at me every time I say it wrong, so I think it's quarantine.
Right. Okay. I just feel like you just keep passing me around from person to person, like you don't want me.
Oh, well.
Bye.
And
very,
yeah.
Okay.
very strange hearing Klein pronounce Quarantine's name correctly.
I don't even think Klein will look even that befuddled at the whole thing. It's just, yeah, okay, there you go.
Just get back to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Quarantine,
Okay.
you wanted to do something.
Yeah, I was gonna find a place where I could sit in relative quiet, sort of cross-legged, meditative stance even,
Yeah.
and try and reach out my consciousness through the water. Maybe try and make a connection to the creature in the egg. See if I can sort of get a reading on where it might be at the moment and if it's okay.
Okay. Make a spellcasting ability check. So make an ability check with your charisma for me, please. I've
You
just
just want a
realised that
charisma check.
Yeah, just a charisma check.
That's a good start. With natural one for 6.
Okay. I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw then.
22.
22. Okay. You sit there and try and kind of reach out through the water, but you feel your consciousness drawn upwards, and it kind of starts to make you panic, but you're able to kind of calm yourself for a moment. And as you kind of start to kind of shake yourself out of the meditation for just a moment, you see you see a figure kind of looking at you, kind of in your mind for just a moment. They look dwarven, with a very thick beard that looked very wet, and a crown upon his head. But that was all the detail you were able to make out.
So dwarven, thick beard, and a crown on his head.
Yeah, thick, wet beard, crown. As you kind of come out of the attempted meditation, you see Balkan kind of wandering along.
Hello, Miss.
Hello, Balkan.
Klein sent me to find you.
Very well.
What were you doing?
I was just meditating.
I can do that.
Excellent. So, what are your particular talents? What are you
Well,
good at?
they're very sharp, the talons.
No, what are you good at, Balkan darling?
All sorts.
Can
I'll
you...
try anything.
Are you good at cooking?
Yes.
Are you good at cleaning?
Yes.
Are you good at building?
Yes.
What aren't you good at?
Ooh. Don't know.
What would you like to do?
I'll do whatever.
Okay.
Well, within reason. Well,
I'm just thinking.
all right. Well, think faster. Got to be a quick thinker like me.
Obviously.
Do you want me to come back?
Why don't you go down to the bottom of the boat and see if you can tidy up with the storage area?
Okay. To the
Make
bottom of the
things
boat.
nice and neat and tidy. Give it a sweep. If there's any
Oh.
questions, just ask a member of the crew, okay?
I can't normally talk when I'm in octopus form.
There, you can do it in your regular form.
But how am I going to get to the bottom of the boat?
No, not underneath the boat, at the last floor of the boat.
What?
Come with me, darling. Come on.
Okay.
And I'll take him down to the last deck of the boat.
Okay.
So you see this area here?
Hmm.
Give it a good sweep and a mop, and make sure everything is neat and tidy, and all the boxes are stacked up as neatly as you possibly can, but not too
Okay.
high. No more than 2 boxes high, okay?
Okay.
Any questions, ask a member of the crew.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Have fun.
I will. And I'll start sweeping and tidying as best I can.
Okay. As this is happening, Phineas, are you up on the helm at the moment.
Yeah.
You see, as you kind of look across your ship ahead of you, you can see a couple of your crew doing their jobs, adjusting the sails as you see fit. You see Aldris just kind of wandering around, just stroking bits of the boat. It's a bit weird.
Aldous is just sort of humming gently to himself and just sort of touching things and smiling and oh, that's nice.
It's just being very strange. You also see on the deck a conversation happening between your crew. You see Kent talking with Caitlin.
Oh. Okay.
He kind of, as you watch, you see him kind of put his head in his hand and kind of nods to her, and then he starts walking your way.
Everything okay, Kent?
Yes, well, according to Caitlin, Laura's been having bad nightmares lately. And the two of them wish to travel beyond the elusive tide.
Oh, right.
But they were worried that they don't want to leave you high and dry, Captain.
Well, it appears we have some extra hands at the moment. Looking specifically at Aldris as he's stroking bits of the boat.
Yeah, Aldris is just wandering along, and any sort of knot or anything slightly out of place, he just without even thinking about it or noticing he's just straightening things up and tightening bits, and that should be different. That should be over there. Nah, that's better. Nah. And just generally walking around, just not doing anything major, nothing disruptive, just fixing tiny things that he thinks are wrong. Whether he's doing it correctly or not, who knows? But there's some sort of muscle memory there that's happening.
New hands is certainly a way of putting it.
Well, I can certainly not keep people here against their will, so if you speak to either of them, tell them they have my blessing, and they will be welcome back anytime.
Certainly. I'll let them know. They're saying that your permission granted, they're going to part ways with us, or others too. So,
Yeah. Sad to see
How
them
are you?
go.
Yes.
Yes, I'm okay, thank you. Very tired, long few days.
I understand. Well, Aurala's tomb is a safe haven, so
And hopefully we've got a good score in the hold to boost everyone's spirits.
yes. I vaguely recall overhearing, there's chatter amongst the crew of competition brewing around that.
A sell-off of sorts.
I assume quarantine involved.
Obviously.
She's always done that for us. But
And also one of the new hands, Ultras, over there.
he's a strange one, is he not?
Yes. Perhaps he just
Sorry.
convinces people into his...
Well, whatever his deal is, I'm I'm sure we'll be in fine hands.
His deal at the moment is climbing up the mast to go look at the crow's nest.
Okay.
Well,
We'll get to that in a moment.
Relaxing.
If he's
It's
there,
not
yeah.
a crow's nest, it's a fly's nest.
It's normally called a crow's nest, but whatever you want to do.
But, yes. Well, I have duties to attend to, as you well know, Captain.
Of course.
If you need my aid at any point, I'm always available.
So once I get up
He
to
nods
the...
and
Sorry.
walks down the stairs and talks with Caitlin. As you climb up the mast, Aldris, you kind of poke your head up and you just see Lack looking down at you from the edge of the fly's nest.
Hello. Do you mind if I just, pop in just for a look?
Yes,
Good. Just climb in.
I do.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought you meant yes, I could climb in for a look. It's quite good up here, isn't it? Could see quite a long way.
That is the idea.
It's a good crow's nest. Although, what you could do, just for safety's sake, is just this bit of railing here seems to be a little bit loose. You should probably fix that.
I do not need it.
As you say. Sorry, Lack, wasn't it?
Yes.
Marvellous. Yes, exactly. Just keep that in mind. Fantastic. Right. I'll start climbing down again.
You climb back down quite easily. So, is there anything else anyone wants to do? If not,
I would like to quickly go and see the captain after directing Falcon to his new job.
yeah, absolutely. Finish. You see Quarantine coming up the stairs to you.
Captain,
First mate.
I tried to reach out to our missing friend,
Should we go to my office?
if you would prefer.
Oh, just stroll to the office. Right.
Do I see
tried
them
to-
go off?
Make a perception check.
Okay, perception check. Natural 20 for 24.
24. Yeah, you see them kind of talk for a moment and then walk down into the captain's quarters. The door is closed, and then
No, that's fine. As long
the
as I see,
large.
so as I see the captain walk away from the helm, I'll just wander over to the helm.
You wander over to the helm.
And just sort of
As you walk up
take
to
the
it,
helm.
you see this high elven woman with long black hair has taken over the wheel.
Ah, hello.
She doesn't pay any attention to you.
I'm Aldris, by the way. And your name?
She sighs and
That's an interesting name. I knew a fellow once called. He was quite rude. Kept trying to hit me. Don't know why. Shall I just take over here while you go for a break or whatever?
the captain is taking a break. I am doing my job.
Yes, I saw that.
You do well, do wise to do your job. I'm
Oh,
sure
you
you've
see,
been given one.
I've not been given a job yet, you see, so I'm just trying to be useful. So I'm making myself useful. If there's anything I can do for you, please just ask and we can make a deal of some kind.
Make yourself useful and go and help Growlin clean the kitchens or something. Leave me alone.
Growl and clean the kitchens. Okay, I will go and do that. Enjoy your day. I shall wander off to find a kitchen.
So, Phineas, quarantine inside the captain's quarters.
I tried to make a connection to our friend in the egg. Didn't quite go according to plan. I felt some resistance, and then I saw a figure flash, and I don't know if it would be one that you would maybe recognise. It was dwarven. He had a thick, wet beard and a crown atop his head.
Does the description ring any bells?
After I kicked him in the water.
You can a make a history check, see if it rings any bells to you. Quarantine, you can do similar if you wish.
Just history, yeah.
Yeah. For what you're trying to figure out here, then yeah, history.
8.
14.
Phineas, no, that description doesn't really match anything you know. And Quarantine, you're similar. There's not a huge number of dwarves, but the crown seemed very prominent to you. There's just something as you kind of thinking about that how that figure looked. The crown made you. It's like just on the tip of your tongue, kind of thing. You couldn't place it though.
Something about it, but the crown in particular just sort of stood out to me. But I can't think why.
Well, not many people wear crowns.
And I mean, there was something about it that seemed oddly and vaguely familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. Perhaps if I sleep on it, it'll come to me tonight, but I thought it warrant mentioning, just in case.
Yes, it was an interesting idea I've not thought of. Do try again if you see fit.
Yes, I shall certainly try, Captain. I set Balkan to work on the lower decks, cleaning up as best I can. I'm not really quite sure what to do with someone of his size and mental capacity. And I don't know if there's anything in particular you would like Eyeless and Aldris to be doing.
PM.
Yes.
Who are the couple that you just said were thinking of leaving?
Caitlin and Laura.
Yes, Caitlin O'Michael and Laura Cohen.
Okay, what are their duties on the ship?
They're kind of just general crew members, those two. Laura tends to do no specific jobs. Laura tends to help out with the cannons a lot of the time because she's quite physically strong. Caitlin tends to be. Caitlin tends to mostly help with the sales and stuff like that, but she also tends to play music a lot and is the bard on the crew that isn't banned from playing music.
I feel as if Eyeless at least has some talents in the medical world. I know he seemed quite keen to get to grips with learning from Branwen.
Well, that will be useful. I should speak to them both at some point today.
All three, perhaps.
Sorry, say again?
All three, perhaps.
All three, though I got to know a little bit of Aldris earlier.
I must be frank, Captain. He does give me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies.
Yes. Oh, I quite like it. Between you and me.
Just as long as I'm not ousted in his place.
Don't be silly. He's nowhere near as sexy as you.
Much appreciated, Captain. Much appreciated.
Or did you mean your first mate duties?
Well, all of my duties, Captain, obviously. I take what I do very seriously, as you well know. But perhaps not as well as others.
Rest assured, your position is safe.
So yes, some thought about what you would like our newest crew members to be doing, and maybe some conversation with the three of them to narrow it down and set them in your place, set them in their place yourself.
Yes. Okay.
Is there anything you need of me, Captain?
No. Just crack on.
As you wish.
And I'll leave.
As you leave, as Quarantine leaves, Phineas, you hear a message from Alara. We're close to port, Captain.
Thank you, Alara.
And then you hear a second message say, I don't like the new one. He's creepy.
That one. Yes. We'll see how it works out.
So, as the rest of you can see, the ship is beginning to pull into Orala's tomb. And for the
Before
benefit
we
of
do that-
those... Sorry,
I
go
wanted
ahead,
to.
Clive.
Yeah, so before we do that, I think Klein will just take a second after speaking to Balkin and going back onto the Trident. And I think I'd just have a think if he was taught about anything, what wood or legends, lore, which have been told him about the Trident. Obviously, he's gone to look for it and get it, so he's quite adept in the history and that of it. So
You can make a history or a religion check if you wish. And I'll say, Eyeless, with your high perception, you can probably see Klein on the deck looking at his trident quite studiously.
Yeah.
it's history because I'm proficient in it, and 18.
Wouldn't be the first time Klein's been caught with his trident out.
Playing with it.
So, sorry, what was the roll there, Fiddy?
It was 18.
18. Okay. You kind of sit and look and think for a while, kind of thinking back to the encounter in Moonsong and kind of like what you were taught, what you've learned, and the fact that there are 3 of these stones makes you think of kind of just the structure of religion here in the ocean in general, because outside of Orala and outside of Aliaria and Tide Rays, there are 3 big shot pirate gods that you know of. One that you know a decent amount of, being Orala, but the other 2 being Khan and Marquaz. So
Yeah, so just to confirm, you said about the indents, as if to say to put gems in. There's no gems
Yes.
in there at the minute.
there's no gems in there at the moment. They're
Cool.
kind of, it's basically you're on WoW, you've got your weapon, and there are 3 gem sockets in it that
Yeah,
are
yeah,
empty.
yeah. Okay. And would knowing about the other 2, like sea gods, essentially, would I know like what colours of gems to look for with that?
I'll say off of the 18 that you got, don't really know if there being really any gemstones associated. I mean, Orala's definitely associated with gemstones, but she's just associated with wealth and greed in general. No.
Okay.
No. You don't think so?
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry.
So, for the benefit of those that weren't here previously, and for those that may have forgotten, as the Elusive Tide sails into port at Rala's tomb, you're greeted by what looks almost like a city of buildings made of glittering gold, almost. The roofs have golden tiles across them, and all of the brick and stonework seem to have small gemstones inlaid into the rock. And standing kind of directly as you come in, you can see docks and ports off to your left and to your right. To the left, you can see various ships in states of repair and construction. To the right, you see various other vessels. And down the center, this large canal that splits the city in two, crossed by large bridges that go tall enough for boats to sail underneath. And at the end, this huge pyramid-like temple, completely plated in gold. I don't know if you've seen the renditions of what the Egyptian pyramids used to look like with their limestone kind of casings. Imagine a pyramid like that, but the entirety of it is gold. And you can see kind of perched near the top this huge golden coin with the skull and crossed bones on it, the symbol of Arala. As you pull in, there's a good few ships here, actually. Some quite a few vessels. One very large one that appears to be crewed by a lot of Dragonborn with that bronze dragon head on it. Obviously, a ship of Bethsires of some kind. But you also notice on one of the kind of on a section of the rocks just before you reach the port, there appears to be a large number of bodies hanging, strung up by rope.
Ooh.
They all appear to be dead.
There's no ships in the dock
Are there... Sorry.
that look like any we fought, minus the flag, assuming that they'd take it down, but no damage to any of them.
Make a perception check looking over the boats.
The bodies that are hanging by the rocks, have they got any identifying colours or...
Make a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask what sort of races they are.
Make a perception check for me.
Oh, that's not
Everyone's
right.
making perception checks.
10.
So we're going to start with Klein.
You get a perception check. You get a perception check. 15.
15. Okay, and you were looking at the boats.
Yeah, to see
None of
if
them, you know, shipbuilding.
Yeah.
None of them look like the boats that you were battling, let alone having the flags flying. There's a good number of varying flags here. There's golden coins on black fields, orange flames on black fields, white. None of those ones. Basically, if you look in the Pirate Deities document, any of the flag colours listed beneath Orala and the gods associated with her are here. It's busy. You do actually, as you look at the boats, you do see the Gold Heart docked here, looking a lot more resplendent than it was last time you saw it.
Cool, bloody hell, remind me. Is that Ishman's?
Ishman's boat.
Yeah, Ishman's ship.
Okay, cool. Okay. I think if before we get off, I'll just point that out to Phineas, just to say, obviously, he's here.
Okay. Aldris and Eyeless, you were looking at the bodies that have been strung up.
Yep.
So what were your perception checks?
I got a 10.
A 10.
Yeah.
25.
10 and a 25. Okay. Aldris, you can't see any symbology between them, no colours.
Probably more distracted by the Great
Most of them are
Pyramid.
just kind of in tattered rags of clothes. They've just been strung up as is. Anything useful taken from them. Eyeless, most of them appear to be... there's a mixture. Mostly elven Elven and Water Genasi, probably the most prominent, and all of them have had kind of on their chests have had a symbol branded into them. And I'll say, considering you're relatively familiar with medicine, this looks like it's been applied after they've been killed. And the symbol that's been branded into them is that of an albatross. So, I assume you're pulling into port then, Captain?
Indeed.
Okay. We pull into port, and the workers on the dock get the ship tied to, gangplank organised. You see walking down down the docks and stepping towards the gangplank. You see, if I actually get my notes properly, I'll be able to find it. You see Dranar, the large brass dragonborn dockmaster here, and he kind of walks along, sees you, Phineas, and kind of nods to you, and then resumes walking off down to other vessels that are arriving. You don't have to pay for docking here, because you're well respected. So, what would you like to do now that you're docked at Aurala's tomb?
Where would I know that to be the best place to try and sell these? I know that we've got the crystal shapers and the jade smiths. Which one would be better to try and sell the gems, and which one for the statues?
Okay. So let's have a quick look at my notes for Aurala's tomb. I just have them up. So the markets are kind of very general here. You can sell pretty much anything in Aurala's tomb. If it's shiny, it will sell. The gemstones, you reckon you could pretty much sell them anywhere. The crystal shapers and soul canvas, they'll sell to as stores that you've been to before, but going to the merchant's vault will yield good results as well. You know that anything magical, you're probably maybe going to get a better deal at Naranor's, as there is a branch of Naranor's here.
Of course.
There's a
Naranor's
branch of
everywhere.
Naranor's everywhere. He's just got this
He's like
large.
a Costa.
He's got a large pole sign with a big yellow N on it.
He's loving it.
Narinor the Magnificent.
Quick question. On a related note, would I have sold here before, and would I know the best place to get a good deal?
I would like you to make a history check, please, to see if you can remember being here.
Yeah. Natural one.
Natural one. You're kind of distracted looking at the temple.
All of the shiny gold.
The temple.
She will be happy.
The city itself, kind of, you don't really remember being here, but the temple you swear you've seen before.
Also, that ship?
The Gold Heart.
Yeah. Sure. Have I seen that one before?
You
Or
can
at
also
least
make a history
heard of
check
it?
for that. Make a history check for that one as well.
I'll
I'll say with
I'll
advantage.
make a religion check.
considering. Given the ship it is, yeah, you can make a religion check.
These dice, man. Natural 20 for 25.
25. You've heard of the Gold Heart. Captain Ishman is one of the favoured of Aurala.
Ishman's in town. Fantastic.
So, yeah. You've seen the Gold Heart. You've never been on it. You've never been invited, though nobody really ever is a lot of the time.
Before we leave the ship, I'll just go up to the captain. Captain,
Fine.
I know we spent quite a bit last time whilst we were here stocking the ship up and all of that and whatnot. As long as you leave me money for a few beers as I go off before we get our next coin in, I can give you some just to cover the costs of the food and everything to restock it, if needed.
What are you saying, Klein?
Do you need money to restock the ship whilst we go off?
No, I will cover it.
Righto, that's fine. That's fine. Let me just pick up one of those statues, and I'm gonna follow whoever knows where to take them. And I'll pick up one of the golden statues we got.
And you're not going to try and sell that, are you? You're not
what-
involved in this.
Well,
competition.
no, but I mean, can you see one of them two picking it up?
No, absolutely not. You're right to do so. I was just confirming we actually want to make a profit from it.
Well, you know me, I can make a good deal anytime. But yeah, righto, Captain. I'll follow quarantine up and we'll sell it.
So, let me get this straight. What are we actually selling? What's the competition here? Is it just one of the normal gems?
Well, quarantine. You two are to be engaging in this competition. What are the terms? Do you want to just take half each, or are you going to just compete over a single thing?
I mean, a single gem would probably be best. I mean, I'm new to you guys, so giving me half of your treasure seems a bit reckless, shall we say?
I
There
suggest
would
that
be-
Brush escort Aldris with one of the statues, and I take Klein
I'd rather
with
it
one
was
of the other
gems,
ones.
if you don't mind. I know them a little better than statues. Statues are a matter of taste. Gems are a matter of gold.
But the statues are gold.
Yes, but they are art as well, you see. A gem is a gem, and there's no denying the value of that gem.
Aldris, are you trying to say that you couldn't sell something such as one of these statues?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to have a fair competition, we should do something that's got a value that's exactly the same, but we can get different prices for it. And a piece of art is subjective. So, therefore, the price will vary wildly, and it's not a true reflection of the value of the piece. Whereas a gem is a gem.
Seems
Captain?
reasonable to me. Yes.
Then it is your choice. If you want to choose
of a
two
gem, then.
gems of similar size and value,
Well, I think we
We'll see
let the captain choose the gems. To have
That's what I said.
all above board and fair. Oh, did you? I do apologise. I must have misheard. I am quite old, so therefore my hearing goes occasionally. I think I'm quite old anyway. Yes, I'm probably very old.
If it helps you seem it to me.
Thank you.
PM,
I think.
can I pick the two most similar gems as I can?
Yeah, absolutely. You sort through them and you're able to find, rather oddly conveniently, two sapphires that look roughly kind of the same size and same cut.
Okay. So here's what I suggest. You each take one of these sapphires. Does that seem fair to you two?
Absolutely.
Do they look about
of
right?
course.
Okay. So whoever gets the best price gets to come back and sell the rest.
As you wish, Captain.
Perfect.
Apologies, I was trying to get something up and then my my browser just went a bit funky.
Well, right, if they're
So-
doing that, Captain, I'll put this back down in the hold because they don't need it, right?
Not at the minute, but you can carry it if you want.
Well, I'd rather have a few drinks
stand
first,
around
if that's
with it.
right, Captain. Well, I suppose I could. Can I? Cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's walk around with it and get into some fights, shall we?
No, fine, leave it here.
No.
If you're going for a drink, not too many. We will need you to carry these around afterwards.
Absolutely, Captain. What's not too big?
Unless you're feeling too weak, Klein, I can do it for you.
Yeah. Never.
Never. Okay.
I'll send them on their way. And then I would like to find and speak to Ilis and Balkin.
Absolutely. You can find Ilis quite easily. He's, I assuming, still on the deck of the ship. Balkan, most of your crew has come up and has come off the deck, except for those that are keeping guard. Balkan don't see anywhere immediately.
I did mention to you where I'd put him last, so
Yes. I will go to the bottom of the ship.
Okay.
And speak to Balkin.
You come down to the bottom of the ship. It's very clean. Everything's been, organised and put to the side. You can tell that Branwen has locked her door and put the sign of "Do not enter" up on the door. I'll say, Balkan, you tried to go in there a couple of times, and this very angry dwarf shouted at you a lot and told you to go away. And so you tried not to go in there.
So I'm probably going to find Balkan just sitting on the floor looking very proud of himself.
Balkin, have you been cleaning?
Yes. Hello, Captain. I won't hug you.
Thank you.
Unless you feel pressured to have that.
No, I'm fine with the no hug situation. Thank you.
Good.
If you have a moment, I would like to speak to you in my office.
Oh, am I in trouble?
No, sure.
Okay. You might want to get Ilis because he does like the talking about, the complicated stuff.
You should have more faith in yourself, Balkin. But
I can do the talking. I'll do the talking.
And if you care to follow me, we'll fetch Ilis on the way.
Yeah, be careful. Don't make any marks. I'll just clean that bit.
Oh. Of course.
Love Balkan. Balkan's great. So,
thought about saying something like, I would hate to dirty your ship, but knowing that Balkan would take that very seriously.
It's not my ship.
Okay, so look, where they gone? So, finish. You bring Balkan up to the top deck along with Ilis, who's still there.
Ilis, if you would please come to my office.
Of course.
I'll just go, we're not in trouble.
I should hope not.
I asked.
Well done.
So we'll get in. I'll go and sit down behind my desk. There's always a couple of chairs in front, so I'll gesture.
Yep.
I struggle to sit on a chair properly because my shell gets in the way, so I'm sort of perched on the edge of the seat.
Is there any sort of stools or anything to the sides at all?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I could absolutely say yes. This is all in our heads, but no, there's not.
It's imaginary.
Well, thank you for both coming along. How are you settling in?
Quite all right. I'm quite
Everyone-
intrigued with your ship's surgeon. She seems quite eccentric, and I like that.
There are many words to describe her, but eccentric is amongst the most polite.
Everyone's been very nice.
Good to hear. Well, thank you for settling in so quickly, and haven't had any complaints about either of you yet. I did just want to sit down and quickly talk with you. I appreciate my demeanour has been less than friendly.
You've been quite grumpy,
That is one way to put it.
Captain.
Balkin, let the man speak.
It's okay.
He's a captain. God,
Yes,
he's a
but
captain.
he will indicate when it's our turn to speak. Let him speak. I apologize.
No, you could also take your own advice and let Balkin speak.
And I just look at both of them, not knowing what to do. I'm like Schrodinger's turtle.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to talk with you both more privately, and I hope you are settling in. I'm looking into duty rosters at the moment to assign you actual roles on the ship whilst we are sailing. So hopefully we'll have positions for you. But also, while we are at dock, I've always allowed the crew to go ashore to do as they please until a designated time, and the same courtesy will apply to you. So if you do wish to leave the ship, you are free to do so. Enjoy yourself in whatever port we find ourselves in. Just make sure you're back by the time we want to leave. That will probably be tomorrow sometime.
Yes, well, I will conclude my business on shore and then return to the ship. I imagine. Do you have anything you wish to do, Balkin?
I was just about to ask what I should do.
What do you like?
What would you like me to do?
No. What do you enjoy doing?
I don't. Ooh. Well, I'll try anything once.
Do you enjoy drinking?
Yes.
Do you enjoy finding bedfellows?
Yes.
There's plenty of that to do in most ports.
Yeah, Eilif basically just has a very sidelong look at Balkin, knowing full well that he has no interest in bedfellows at all, and never has.
I'm just trying to make him like me.
I'm sure we can find diversions which will be entertaining.
I might discover my talons.
You may well do, yes. There are plenty of hobbies to do. I'm sure you can find some interesting pastimes. Take up darts or something.
Okay, I will do.
That was a suggestion, not a command.
Okay.
Okay. Well, please go and enjoy yourselves.
There is one thing, Captain, that if we do come across any diamonds on our travels, it may be worth keeping a few because I could use them to...
For their healing properties.
Yes, and also if any of our fellows were to be struck down, I could resurrect them using said diamonds.
Healing.
Of course. But it may be worth just keeping a couple. Not
Yes.
all of them, but just a couple. Anyway.
So you just see this look of, keep the jewels. Sorry, Balkin, you raised your hand.
Yeah. I don't want you to think that I'm complaining, but like Klein and Quarantine, they gave me quite a boring job, and I got the impression it was a job that they were meant to do, but they didn't want to do it, and they gave it to me, which is fine because I'm new and I'll do whatever. But I don't want to do that full time because it's boring.
You don't want to scrub. Well, Quarantine certainly is not expected to scrub the decks.
No, she didn't. She made me do it.
Yes. It's her job to tell people to do that.
Oh, maybe I could do that job.
Quarantine does that job.
Got a ship of prospective first mates.
Well,
Fantastic.
I'll try maybe like I don't know. I could try a lot of different things. I could cook and I can help with the medicine because I can heal stuff as well. Not as good as Isla's, but I can heal a little bit.
You mentioned cooking. Perhaps that is something you could learn on board.
Yeah, I'm really good at cooking,
Sure, go and take a cooking class.
I mean,
but I've got to learn darts first.
You can do them in whichever order you wish.
Okay, you're all getting dart soup now. You know that. Okay, I'll learn how to cook. How long have we got?
A day. We'll be leaving in the morning.
Okay, we better go, Ilas. I've got to learn how to cook and play darts.
Balgin, you can learn. You already know how to cook. You did most of our cooking on our journeys.
Yeah, but you said it wasn't very nice.
I've never said that to you. I actually said you were quite a good cook.
See? I'm a good
But-
cook.
You can work with the cook while we're sailing.
Okay.
Balkan, I didn't appreciate that you were an experienced cook already.
I'm a person of many talons.
Talons, yes. I've seen some of your talons under beak and arms.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right, bye now.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. So as he leaves, I'll just turn back to the captain. I find it best to be very, very direct with what I instruct him with, because he's very, very literal. I did pre-warn Quarantine of this. I'm not sure whether she passed it on to Klein, but
Yes, I've heard that this is the case. It's worth letting him speak for himself sometimes, though.
of course, he is more talented than he gives himself credit for, and most people give him credit for. And he's been a very good companion of mine for a while now.
Okay. Good to know.
Right, I will leave you to your leisure then, Captain, and
From the deck, you just hear 180.
I'll be back on board for tomorrow. Worry not. Oh shit. Yeah, and I'll leave.
You all leave the ship. Sorry.
I'll be accompanying the captain wherever the captain decided to go.
So
Usual, the sort of
we
the
will
hovering bodyguard.
start off, I think, with Phineas, as you step off of the ship, apologies, you see stood kind of off to the side a little bit, kind of admiring your vessel, Captain Ishman. Dark red skin, broken horns, large scraggly grey beard.
I will go over beside him. Captain, good to see you once more.
Ah, it's a fine day, is it not, Captain Phineas?
Indeed it is.
Your ship's a fine vessel.
Serves us well.
But I cannot stay for long. Much to do. Morala has me doing many things. But I come to give you this as thanks for my rescue. And he kind of holds out a small lockbox to you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Give it
You quickly pop it open, you can see the glint of platinum coins inside, as well as a large golden coin as well.
You know just what I like. Thank you, Captain.
Arr. Arr. You'd make a fine captain of Morala. But the Albatross always needs ships under his wing as well, I suppose. Anyway, a fine day to you, Captain Phineas.
You too, Captain.
He gives you a nod and walks off back towards his vessel. Inside that lockbox, there are 2,000 platinum coins.
Wow.
Yeah, as I was speaking to him, I'd have kindly sort of closed the box, and as soon as he walks away, I'd be like,
Inside, the lockbox is a little bit kind of extra dimensional, just a little bit. 2,000 platinum coins and a large golden coin with the symbol of Orala on it.
Isn't that 20,000 gold?
Yep.
Correct.
Jesus. Okay.
We rich, man.
The captain's rich. We know nothing about it.
I'm right next to him.
Lack knows about it because you can't really hide much from Lack.
But Lack doesn't really care.
No. So, it turns out rescuing the favoured captain of the goddess of wealth and greed has some perks.
Yeah. Who knew?
And that's to be divided amongst the crew who did the rescue, obviously.
Well, at least the captain and bodyguard.
If you could see my screens, you would know that I've already got up the spreadsheet.
That spreadsheet is good. I'm going to need to see that spreadsheet one day. It's going to be fantastic.
And
You
we'll
mentioned
see.
Excel, Captain. Excel, Captain.
And we'll see that 20,000 gold has just been put into Captain Phineas's pocket.
God damn you lot.
So,
Let me. I'll show you. We can... this.
We can do it on the break. It's fine.
I imagine you have Teams meetings with all the, the imaginary members of the Elusive type when we're not here.
Oop,
Performance reviews.
it's not showing too well, unfortunately. Oh, wait, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's every time somebody joins.
It's not
Gone
super
horribly
fond
wrong.
of it. But
Oh,
But you've got, I've seen it before. You've got like equations to split the amount you put in between like yourself, your officers, the ship's fund, etc.
oh,
Very clever.
Yes. Basically, I put the gold to split. I just stick the number in, and then I've got all the percentages worked out, and it tells me that you each get a smaller amount than.
I'm very, very glad to be serving on this spreadsheet.
But there may be more to split if you guys can do your same thing.
So, as you all step off, Phineas kind of quietly pocketing the lockbox away for safekeeping later. We're going to take a quick break before we get into the selling competition. Give our competitors time to consider their strategies, as it were.
Indeed.
To roll well, you mean?
Well,
Choose the dice.
I'm going through my notes and going, who have I sold to here? Who have I sold to? Who have I made a connection with?
Creepiness
I'm just going to
versus
rely on
it.
my sheer talent. But,
Creepiness versus cleavage.
Creepiness versus tits.
I mean, creepiness is going to win, obviously. So, we'll find out, though, after the break. So, we'll have a quick break, and then we'll be right back. competition. I'll hand you straight across to our pirate master, Jay.
Okay, so we pick up. You've arrived in Orala's tomb, and I think we should get underway with our selling competition between Quarantine and Aldris. So, we will start with our defender, Quarantine.
Yes.
We'll have you going up first. So, the first question I have for you is, where are you going to sell this gemstone?
So apart from the market, who do I think would be the best port of call from what I remember?
Make a hearsay check.
10.
10. You kind of think about it, and you suspect that unless the Crystal Shapers or Soul Canvas are in need of sapphires, you might not be able to get the best deal there. They tend to work more on commission, from what you remember.
I will go see Wavu. No, actually, I'm going to scout the market first. See if there's any potential people that I can sway with my charms.
Okay, make a perception check for me, please. You're going towards the market.
22.
Okay. For description of the market, it's this huge area. It's these kind of covered canvas tenting. A large building in the centre with a balcony, on which is stood this dark red-skinned tiefling with kind of jet black hair, who's always kind of like lording over and just watching the market. This may be completely different to what his personality was before, but I don't remember, so that's what I'm going with. So, your perception check was 22, did you say, currently? Okay. You kind of spend a bit of time kind of wandering the markets, and you find with 22, you find 4 different vendors that seem to be dealing in gemstones currently.
I'm looking for one that looks like he might lead more with his dick than with his brain.
Well, there is a
I think I'll probably do the standard oops, I dropped a silver coin mark and sort of pay attention to who I get the most reaction from and start off there.
So I'll give you a description of these 4 that you see. So you see one, this kind of like dark green skinned tiefling with dark red hair, kind of wearing this kind of like waistcoat with a pocket watch chain you can see kind of wrapping around. He's got this fine little fine hat, and it seems to be dealing mostly in jewellery. The others, you see a tabaxi. She is quite well built with this kind of like dark orange fur with flowers kind of tied throughout. She also seems to be selling jewellery, though it looks a little tackier than what the tiefling was selling. You see a half elf. She is about as modestly dressed as you are. She seems to mostly have uncut gems being sold, though you suspect that she's using similar tactics to what you're planning on using. And finally, there is this old-looking dragonborn with kind of like these heavy scales, kind of like he's very heavy set. He has these dark golden scales. He's kind of blind in one eye with a scar across it, and again seems to have a lot of uncut jewels.
So yeah, I'll sort of drop my silver coin and make a production of picking it up and then tuck it in my cleavage.
you going to do that with all 4 of them?
I want to try and do it in line of all of them.
In line of all of them. That's going to be tricky because they're kind of spread out across the market.
Is there a place where I can hit most of them? I'm not less worried probably about the tabaxi if she's selling tackier looking stuff.
You can see you can kind of get either the tiefling and the tabaxi, or you can get the dragonborn and the half elf.
Okay, I'll do it once for each of them.
Okay, you do it once for each of them. Okay, make a performance check for me, please. Do 2 of them. Storm.
16 for the first one and 23 for the second one.
16 for the first one. So, which one's going to be the first one? Is that going to be the jewelers or the raw material sellers?
Probably the raw materials.
Okay, so the first one, raw materials, is 16. As you kind of do that, you kind of look around. The dragonborn just kind of scoffs. The half elf kind of leans forwards, and kind of looks at you for a bit, and then kind of resumes kind of looking across the rest of the customers and those wandering the market. What was your role for the jewelers?
23.
23. Okay. The tabaxi just she's dealing with a customer and she's completely distracted, just completely taken off guard, and the customer starts kind of talking louder to her and she kind of snaps back into it. You kind of look over at the tiefling and he kind of just looks at you with a kind of a slightly puzzled look, and then kind of returns to trying to ply his trade.
I will go over to the tiefling, I think, to start off with.
Tiefling. Okay. So you can see this tiefling. He's this dark green skin, short red hair, short dark red hair, kind of like curved horns going up. Very, very dapper, very refined. And he kind of looks to you as you're coming on.
Good day.
Good day, young miss. Can I interest you in some of my fine jewels that I have here for you today?
I'm actually looking to sell. Do you buy gemstones at all?
I certainly buy gemstones. I'll certainly take a look at any jewels or any gemstones or rings or jewelry that you might have. I will note these gemstones are set into rings. You can remove them if you wish.
Oh, I forgot they were in rings.
Yeah, so did I.
The jewel stone I have is in a ring, but I feel it is far too fabulous for such a setting. I'm sure you could produce one of much better quality.
Oh, I'm certain that I know some good jewelers that'd be able to make good use of it. Might I take a look?
Of course. Plucks it from her cleavage.
He takes it.
It's nice and
Make an
warm.
insight check if you wish at this point.
Oh, that's so nearly landed on the 16. 8.
8. You're not sure if you kind of caught him with that one? He seems to be more attentive to the jewel. He kind of takes it and looks it over. He kind of, I see what you mean. The metal of this ring isn't amazing, but this sapphire is certainly something.
Of course.
Hmm.
From Risen Elven Ruins.
I have been hearing about that. That's why we came out this way.
Some interesting history behind it, I'm sure.
Oh, certainly. There seems to be some old elven writing here. I'll have to get the husband to take a look at that one. But yes, this sapphire is certainly impressive. He seems to be quite enamored by the jewel.
Tits have backfired. Tits have backfired.
Yes. Without getting my all of my loop and equipment out. Probably. It is old Elven. That is definitely Elven script.
I can read Elven. Can I tell him what it says?
You can make an intelligence check. It's again very old Elven. This is so.
Rolled off a natural 20 for a 9.
Natural 20 for a 9. It seems to be a name, but you're having trouble. When you looked at it before, you'd have trouble kind of parsing the kind of how the name is structured. You can't really make it out.
I believe it is a name of some kind, but I'm
Ah,
not quite sure of the structure. It's a little older than what I'm used to, so
yes.
as you
yes,
can tell, it's quite a history behind it.
Yes, certainly. Certainly.
Don't find many of these lying about nowadays.
Yeah, I'd certainly rate the jewel itself. Well, speaking as a merchant, I would certainly say I would possibly take this off of your hands, just the jewel itself, for about 1,000, but attached to the ring, I might. I'd be willing to go a little bit higher, possibly 1,250 gold.
Do I have a rough estimate of how much I think it would be worth?
Yes. You previously valued these jewels and roughly valued them being worth 1,000 gold each.
While your offer is very generous, you can't put a price on history. Is there any way you could sweeten the pot just a little?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, come on. This is my area of expertise. And I roll a natural 1 for 9.
Oh, that's not good.
Andreas said that I really shouldn't be spending too much more. I think 1,250 is probably the highest I'm going to be able to go on this ring.
Call it 1,300, and there may be some other rings and gems coming your way.
I'll let you roll a second persuasion check with that.
Oh, again? Oh, ow.
I can't see these rolls happening, so I need to come and have a look.
They're in D&D Beyond.
Oh my God, Natalie.
2 natural 1s in a row. 2
Ow.
natural 1s in a row.
And I will just mention that we have exactly the same plus to persuasion. So this is a very, very fair. But that's harsh. That is very harsh.
I'm just looking at like your past 4 rolls have all been below 10.
Yeah, it's been atrocious today.
Definitely having an off day today. Did you forget to
Just get your tits out.
He's probably the wrong merchant for that, though.
However, natural ones aren't guaranteed failures, and you still rolled. So I'll say 1,250, but we'll see about the others if you bring them to me. I might give you a better deal on those ones. I'd need to see them before I can make any promises, darling.
Of course, of course. I'm trying to remember how many we had. I think it was 7, wasn't it?
7 pieces of jewelry with large gems.
Yeah, 7 large jeweled, large gems within jewelry. Though you have 5.
Yeah,
left.
there'd be 5 left. Yeah, and there would be a possibility of another 5 if this deal goes well enough. And I don't suppose you are interested in interesting erotic statuette in gold, are you?
Elven?
Of course. From the same risen island.
Well, I have my tastes. I'd have to see them, of course. Make another persuasion check for me at disadvantage, seeing as this is your third attempt.
Won't do any worse at this point.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Really?
16 at disadvantage.
He kind of leans in a little bit. How erotic are we talking?
What do I remember of these?
These
I don't think we
were
specified what they were exactly.
they're statues of elves, plated in gold, and of varying appearance. All kind of like the gold has been shaped to mimic the appearance of like soft silken clothes that are just tastefully covering the parts. There's certainly ones with the abs on show, and
So taste,
I'll leave the rest to our
Take-
viewers' imaginations.
Tasteful and subtle, but just something about them.
If you
Elven,
bring
of
one.
course.
If you bring them my way to have a look first, then yes, I'd certainly be interested. I'll do you your 1,300 on the ring.
Much appreciated, sir.
Are you taking the offer?
I will take the offer.
Okay, you sell your ring for 1,300 gold.
Oi, oi.
Got it for much cheaper.
Huh. That's
So-
no problem.
They're
We
all
will jump over to Aldris.
So, Aldous is just sort of wandering about the market,
Okay.
not
You can make it.
having remembered if he's been here before or not. Certainly not in the town.
The markets change, so
I will look around for the same.
yeah, make a perception check then for me, please.
Perception check then. 12.
12. Okay. You see, as you're going around, you see all four of the NPCs once again, though you don't see any difference in the gemstone, in the jewelry quality between the Tabaxi and Tiefling.
Okay, that's cool. So you got Tabaxi and Tiefling selling actual jewellery.
Yeah,
But the
Tabaxi
half-elf is
and
selling
Tiefling selling actual jewelry, and the half elf and the Dragonborn are selling
gems.
raw crystal
Okay.
and gems. Some of the gems are cut, but most of them are raw,
Okay.
like my vocal cords.
Okay. Aldous is just sort of mumbling to himself. Well, I'm going to sell it for the best price. So that was the plan. There was a plan, wasn't there? Sure there was a plan. What did the captain say? No, it's completely gone. Right. And I will walk into... Tell you what. I've got them written down. Tiefling, Tabaxi, Half-Elf, Dragonborn. I will roll a
Okay.
d4.
Can I ask a question, DM or PM? Sorry, was
Yeah, you
Sure.
certainly can climb.
Number
so
4.
we
Sorry, go ahead.
we would have left roughly at the same time. The ship, right?
Yeah.
Going in. Would any of us be around at any of them? We know this is going on as well, so
Yeah, a couple of you may be kind of at the market. Most of the crew have gone off drinking.
yeah, I probably wouldn't have done it straight away for this simple thing that the captain said: don't get too drunk because of the statues. So I'm probably just a little bit interested in this competition. Can I just have a walk past Aldris? And as I do it, I'm just going to bump into him and I'm going to cast guidance on him.
Okay.
Why, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Fighting this.
And as I go past, I'm going to be like, well, quietly, I'll be like, she does like a competition, but she doesn't like to lose. So
Clyde, hello. Yes, I'm going to sell this for some reason. Can't remember why. Right. Quick question. And I only
Yes.
got 12, but have any of the merchants got a symbol of Orala on them?
Not that you've seen.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 4, so I'm going to go see this Dragonborn fella.
This is this old, gold-scaled dragonborn, blind in one eye, a couple of scars. Most of what he's wearing is quite ruddy and kind of rugged.
Okay.
Dirty across it. You can see a couple of pickaxes leaning up against the stall. He kind of smiles at you, and you can see a couple of his teeth have been replaced by golden ones.
Hello, friend. My name is...
Good day to y'all.
Good day to you too. My name is Aldris, and
Aldris.
I have an inquiry to make. Now,
Certainly. My name is Ildrex.
Ildrax, very good to meet you, Ildrax. You're a fine fellow. Now, my crewmates and I came upon a risen elven island back out in the deeps, and we got a number of these rings and other bits of jewelry with these beautiful stones in them, sapphires. And as I present it to him, it's just sort of a little bit of a flourish, and it just sort of glistens in the light. And looking around, I see you're obviously a master miner and excavator, and I was just wondering, would this be something that you would be interested in buying, or should I find one of these lower quality merchants somewhere?
Make a persuasion check for me, please, to
Okay.
kick things off.
With guidance, right?
Yeah, you can use your guidance.
Persuasion. That's a natural 20 for 28. I think you're safe. with guidance.
Oh, okay. So you kind of hold it out. I'll say for the purposes of what you've done, that will affect what his role is going to be.
Okay.
He kind of looks it over.
Feel free
kinda-
to take it and
If you
do
don't
whatever
mind.
do whatever you want to do with it.
He kind of pulls it in and kind of reaches down, pulls out this loop that looks very scratched, and kind of initially holds it up to his blind eye and turns it to the other one. Kind of looks in on it.
Man after my own heart.
So I need to make 2 checks here. Off of this. Okay. Okay, and then his intelligence is that. Okay. That's interesting. That's turned out interesting for you.
Okay.
Nah,
is that 28 with the +4
No.
or the plus D4?
No.
he
I
he
rolled a
nat
natural
20.
20. I've got a +8, same as Nat.
That was
And-
brutal.
And you?
He kind of looks in at it, kind of inspecting it. Now, I don't normally deal in ones that have been cut already. I tend to deal in ones that I've dug up from the ground. But
Noted.
I'm always looking to add to my stock, and I'm certain I could sell this to some people elsewhere. Now,
Right. And what sort of price were you thinking about? I have a price in my head, obviously, but I'd
Yeah.
like to know from the expert what they think.
I I don't tend to deal in, as I say, I don't tend to look at ones that already been cut, but I would probably say that, ooh, I'd probably buy this off y'all for 1,300.
1,300. See, I was thinking of a slightly higher number than that.
Right.
I was thinking more at about 1,800.
1,800.
Yes. Well, you see, because of the elven inscriptions and things. And now I know that's not something of interest to you, personally.
Not something I understand. Never really got them elves.
Can I tell what
all
it
of it
says?
Strange. Make a history check.
A history check. Oh, dear. Okay. History. Not too bad. 17.
Add a D4 to it.
You kind of look at the ring for a moment and kind of blink, and just images flash in your head of you stood in front of a jewelry box and holding this ring, and you kind of snap out of it and you're back face to face with this Dragonborn prospector.
That was unexpected.
The inscription on it kind of surprises you as you look at it. The initials in Elven are the same as yours.
Interesting. So, how are we feeling about 1,800?
1,800. Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Okay. This is where I hit the natural one. You watch. So 15. I'm going to use my D4.
Okay.
That's a 1. So persuasion check is 24 altogether.
4.
Yeah, 15 plus 8 is 23 plus 1. I can see your face, Natalie.
Now, it is a mighty fine gem,
It is,
but
isn't it?
Dang it, I don't think I could spring for it. The ring ain't exactly interesting to me.
Okay.
1,300 is probably the highest I'm going to
I
go.
see.
Unfortunately for you, he rolled that 20
Okay.
on his insight.
So, would there be another merchant that you would think would be better suited to,
Well,
do a better deal, as it were? Not that your deal isn't attractive; it very much is. But I was just thinking of a little more.
Well, you could always go ask that fine little missy, the tabaxi. Her name's Storm, I believe.
Storm.
She's always down here buying some of my gems.
Right.
Might have a better
I
luck.
see.
She likes jewelry. She likes those pretty things. You know how tabaxi are.
Probably. Okay. Well, it was incredibly nice to meet you. Have a wonderful day.
It's a pleasure meeting you, Aldris.
Indeed. Take care, and I'll exit and go and find the tabaxi.
Leave the stall of Ildrex, the Dragonborn prospector, who I really got into the character of there.
If it makes you feel any better than that, I didn't really help because he didn't roll any natural ones or anything. So
That's true.
Still a traitor.
I only got a 1 using my D4.
Doesn't matter. The intent.
She won't sleep with his line.
For your reference, by the way, Aldris, he didn't make the spell save DC. However, he also didn't really value it correctly. So it kind of balanced out there for you.
So I will go and see our tabaxi friend.
Go over to Storm. It's an orange furred tabaxi. She's got flowers kind of tied into her hair with various bits of jewelry kind of in her kind of on her little stall here. She's got some jeweler's tools off to the side that look quite clean.
Hello.
Hi.
Pleased to meet you.
You're-
My name is
you're-
Aldris Benoit.
It's good to meet you. My name is Storm.
I'm pleased to meet you, Storm. The gentleman down the road it recommended that I come and see you because I have a particularly fine sapphire set ring that I believe is elven. And I'll just, again...
Ildrex, he's great. He's great. Ildrex is great. He's cool.
He is. He was rather wonderful to me and gave me a valuation, but recommended that I come and speak to you to see what sort of...
I can understand that.
Because he is more of an uncut gems person, and you are more of a connoisseur of jewellery itself.
She's already been distracted. She's staring at the gem.
So, again, a quick flourish. And so, what are your thoughts, do we think?
Make a persuasion check for the initial flourish.
Persuasion. 25.
25. Okay. Values it quickly. Ooh. Oh, that's pretty.
Isn't
That's
it?
real pretty.
Ancient
Oh,
Elvish, I believe.
That's great. That's great. Oh, wow. That's pretty. Huh? What did you say?
It's Elvish, I believe.
Elvish?
Yes, indeed. Quite old, so I'm told.
I don't know if I've ever met an elf.
That's a very good point. I'm not sure I have either.
But it's cool.
It is, isn't it? Now, I was thinking that perhaps you might do me the honour of buying this piece off me for around about 1,800 gold. I do have a number of other pieces that I would gladly come and share with you, if that is the case.
More shiny things.
Absolutely. A lot of shiny things.
She's kind of looking at it for a while. Just kind of thinking, going, I will do you what was I saying?
1,800 gold, I believe, is what we were talking about.
Oh, for the ring.
Yes, the ring with the shiny sapphire in it.
Oh. She kind of looks over at she kind of looks over behind her stall. Okay. I could maybe I could do 1,400.
Well, that puts me in a very difficult position, you see.
She starts kind of doing the cute Puss in Boots cat face.
I start doing the big brown puppy dog eyes. So, the problem I have, you see, is my captain's expecting me to get quite a bit for this. He said, Aldris, my son, go get 1,800 to 2,000. Now, I can't charge you 2,000 because that would be wrong. So, how about, I think I've got about 50 gold on me. How about you give me 1,750 and I'll make up the shortfall for the captain.
Make a deception check with that one.
Sure. 24. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's an 8. That's a 16. That's weird. I'll take a screenshot of that. Oh, shit, it's gone.
It says it's 6 plus 8.
Yeah, but it showed a 16 on the dice.
Huh.
Bit unfortunate, but 14 is what it is.
She kind of... You're talking funny. I am.
I'm sorry.
I don't have much money to spend on buying
right,
jewels at the moment. But I would really like to buy this for 1,400.
Can we do 1,500 as a compromise?
Make a persuasion check.
15. It's getting lower.
1,450.
Sold.
Okay. For 1,450.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
There
So,
we go.
I have a number of other pieces that I can bring along later if you would want some more shiny things.
I won't have.
But you don't have the money.
much.
Ah, I understand.
No.
But that's okay. That's not to worry. I'm sure we can work out some sort of deal. You've been absolutely a pleasure to do business with, Storm. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Thank you. She's got taking the gem
And I
and
will
just looking at
Scoop
it.
up the money and wander back.
Okay. So we'll say you're both convening. Where are we convening for this? The results of this
Back
competition.
to the captain on the ship, I assume.
Finished? Have you told them where to go?
I was down on the ship until they came back.
Okay.
Say I told them that earlier.
So, quarantine, after you. I will sort of gesture for her to walk up the ship first, as she's first mate. It's only right. Your place.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. So do we go to the captain's office, or... It's probably best, isn't it?
I suppose so.
Okay. How much did you get? Oh. That much,
Let's speak
eh?
to the captain.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Ah. Probably better than I did, but yeah. Okay. Knock on the captain's door.
Finished? You hear a knock at the door?
Come in.
Open the door. After you, first mate.
Trying to contain a shudder.
Well, welcome back, both of you. How did we do?
Well, Captain, unfortunately, I only managed to get 14.50 for the shiny, very shiny gem. I think I would have got more, but unfortunately, the merchant that I picked had just run out of cash. Apparently, merchants do that. I'm not quite sure how they did that, and I will put 14.50 on the desk.
1450, good show. Quarantine.
Just a little bit better. 14.85, and I'll take the extra gold that I put on my person out and put it with it.
I bow to, obviously, the worthy winner.
I want quarantine.
I will also make
I
an
want-
insight check to see if she really did get that much.
Quarantine. I want you to make a deception check with that. Both Aldous and Phineas can make insight checks if they wish.
Absolutely, I will. Shit.
I
Likes
will.
well, but he doesn't care.
Son of a bitch.
Oh!
Yes! 15.
Aldous, you can tell.
Now, far be it from me.
She didn't get that. She didn't get.
Far be
quite
it
that
from
much.
me to cast aspersions here, but are you absolutely certain that's the amount that you got for that ring?
Do you want to count it, Aldris?
Oh, I don't doubt that that's the money that's on the table. I just doubt that that's the money that you got, and you
Yeah.
didn't add some yourself.
Aldris,
Yes, Captain.
this is my first mate. She is above reproach
Aye.
on such.
I understand. I'm just saying it doesn't feel quite right. Something seems off. She seems to be a bit unsettled, as it were.
Maybe it's just because I'm in your presence.
I mean, that could be it. People have said before that I have quite an unsettling presence sometimes. I can't really see it myself, but then I don't tend to look in mirrors very often. Didn't hear you there.
Well, I said vampire.
Don't know what you mean.
Well, fantastic showing from both of you. Excellent.
Indeed. Indeed.
Well, I think given how close the competition turned out to be, I would be happy for the two of you to pair up to sell the rest.
That's an excellent idea. Well,
I
I'll
do have a
just
potential buyer for the other gems and possibly the statuettes as well.
I'll just look across at Quarantine to go. Yes, indeed. I would politely decline your offer, Captain.
Okay. Well, that is your choice.
I feel that my presence may unsettle your first mate, and therefore she wouldn't get quite as much as she ought to for those gems.
Okay. Well,
I am, after all, and I gestured to my face, like this. Some people find it unsettling. So I'm told. Quite often.
clearly gesturing towards pile of 1,450 gold. Not too unsettling.
Oh no, I'm very good. I'm just thinking that, 35 gold better is 35 gold better. It's such a huge amount, you see.
Well, Quarantine, feel free to go and sell the rest.
Thank you, Captain.
If I could be excused, Captain.
Of course, Aldous, thank you.
Thank you. And I shall turn and walk out.
Okay. Aldous leaves. The two of you are still in there.
I'll make sure Aldous is gone.
Oh, I'm going to hide. Right behind the door.
Make a stealth check.
Stealth check. 17.
I believe that beats passives.
Beats mine.
The one I need to check. Yep, okay.
I'm just going to
Aldous leaves.
So I'll talk to the captain in primordial.
A language I don't speak.
You don't? Okay, never mind.
Why would you do that when you don't know I'm there?
That's true.
That is very true. As far as you're aware, Aldous has walked away.
Yeah, but I would be very suspicious about that. But okay.
Okay.
Captain. Aldous was correct. And I do not say that lightly. But I didn't quite get as much as he did.
I will now walk away.
I would like you to make a perception check first.
Okay.
See how much of this you can hear, because you are listening through a wall
Okay, that's fair.
to the captain's quarters.
17.
17. Okay. Quarantine, are you talking quietly or are you
Yeah,
talking?
I'm talking quietly.
Okay.
Because I'm admitting something that I don't normally would like to admit to.
Okay.
So
I'll say make a stealth check for me, please.
$18. I actually rolled
Okay.
well.
You can hear mumbling, Aldous. You can't make out exactly, but she's definitely talking quietly.
I'll still walk away.
Okay.
And honestly, I got 1,300 for the ring, but I was truthful in getting a potential buyer for the rest. And possibly the statuettes, as I said.
Well, I did not expect that. Why would you lie to me? Not to him.
Because in all honesty, Captain, I don't particularly like him.
Okay.
He gives off this impression that... I don't know, it just unsettles me.
Yes, he's a bit sort of... But we're talking money here.
I know. Which is why I wanted to tell you the truth, at least.
And if he could earn more money out of this than you can, then that benefits everyone.
That's what you'd rather?
Well, I'd rather honesty to begin with, Quarantine. We've known each other long enough.
And you're telling me that you have not been hiding anything?
Yes. But not something that's directly impacting the pockets of this crew.
With all due respect,
In spite
Captain.
of my ego.
With all due respect, Captain, it may not be affecting our pockets, but it was endangering our lives.
8 years since I left. That's how long it's been.
I know. I've been here ever since.
And you can't say something that happened 8 years ago is a decision I'm making right now to endanger this crew.
I'm not choosing to endanger the crew.
No, but you're still defending your ego.
Would you want me to step down?
Of course I don't. You're still my first mate.
I've been doing this job for 14 years. And somebody comes along and it feels endangered in one day. Are you surprised that I'm not defensive?
How does it feel in danger? He did a job better than you this once. I've already told you on multiple occasions today that you're my first mate. The only issue here is your insecurity.
I didn't want this competition to begin with.
You agreed to it.
Because you ordered it.
I did not.
Well, you didn't put a stop to it either.
Because you agreed to it. Why are you trying to lay all this on me?
I'm merely stating that I did not want to do this in the first place.
Quarantine, just go have a good night. Relax. It's clearly something you need to get out, so go do it in port.
So, Quarantine, you leaving the captain's chambers?
Yes.
Okay. So, Phineas, what would you like to do now?
I'm gonna just sit and wait a bit, just mulling things over. Eventually,
Lack, I assume, Lack, that you're currently in the captain's quarters with
I was
Phineas?
just sitting quietly behind him. And just like,
well,
well, this was interesting.
Well, down to the captain.
yeah, I mean, you said that you'd stay with me, but I assumed that was if I was getting off the ship. Since I was just hanging in my office, I wouldn't have had you weirdly sat in a corner watching me.
I'm sure Lack probably would have done that.
Lack would absolutely do that. Crawl up on top of a bookshelf and just look down at people.
But when it was clear that I was just sat there reading or whatever, and I sort of just kept looking at you in the corner, and I said, just
Okay.
I'll tell you when I'm leaving the ship.
You have like a blue light outside your office that you turn on for him to go and follow when you're on.
The not so inconspicuous fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Big old dragonfly. So I'll say that like you're outside then.
Yeah, I'll just be outside, sort of waiting.
You probably, from your angle, you would have seen Aldous hiding by the door and then walking off.
I'd have just noted it.
I'll go and sit by the railing and stare off at Ishman's ship. Sit there and look at
You
it.
look. It is quite a magnificent ship. There's
It is.
gold sidings. There's gold everywhere on that boat, except for the bits that are platinum and except for the bits that are gemstone. A little bit of wood, maybe.
How much
Well,
time would you say has passed?
I'd say it probably would have taken maybe an hour, maybe two, for that competition to go through, for the contestants to scope out their merchants, etc.
Okay. I think Klein would be probably 6 beers down, 6 hours down
Good
at
work.
the minute. So let me know a price for that, please. PM.
I should have a document for this and see if I can find it. Hold on.
By the way, Quarantine had left that extra 185 gold in your office.
Fair enough.
Okay. So, got that. Here we go. Here's what I'm looking for. So, you're having ales, yeah?
Yeah. We've stopped here before. I know what it's like, and I know that I'm not to be too hungover tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So, if you're going by mugs,
Oh yeah, like tankard, proper.
yeah, that's about 6 of them. Probably about 6 silver. Silver.
Okay, so I'll take a gold out, and whatever's left would have been a tip to the barman, like usual.
Yeah.
And Klein would be doing what he always does, and kind of sat there outside because he knows that the sun sets a little bit slower here, kind of like in the dusk warmth, and sizing people up, but also giving off that who wants a little bit of a rough and tumble like usual.
Okay. I'm assuming you've probably gone to the drinking hole, which is salted tankard.
Yeah,
Grook,
the one.
the big orc lad, just cleaning mugs, just having to use a thumb to clean them because his fist's too big to fit inside. Ilis and Vulcan, what are you guys up to?
So, because Ilis was interested in watching, he would have basically observed the entirety of the competition and watched them go back off to the ship. And as they do so, he'll just ask Balkin, "So, darling, what do you want to do?"
I've got to learn to cook better.
You don't need to learn to cook better. You're already a very good cook.
Do I need to go and get some like cooking stuff? I didn't even look at the kitchens.
No, they will stock the ship, and then you can do what you need to do when you get back on.
Okay. Well, I need to learn darts.
Well, so we go to one of the taverns then.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
then
you guys can head off. There's 4 taverns to choose from in Oralla's team.
The closest one, because I only have little legs.
You're probably looking at the closest one. The docks is probably the Gold Carver's Chisel. A very large tavern, several floors, several bars.
So when we get in, we'll go straight to the bar, and sort of get Balkin a drink and a fruit juice for myself.
You see this kind of older, dark elf lady, white hair, kind of orangey eyes, with ashen skin, kind of looking at it. So what can I get you?
Well, my darling, what? I'll take anything you've got, fruit juice wise. And Balkin, what would you like, darling?
What do you think is best? What's local?
Local. Well, we have a selection of wines that are
Okay, wine will do.
pressed. Okay. Okay.
Balkin, you know you were ill the last time you had wine.
It's only one, it'll be alright.
That's what you said last time.
She's gonna want to. She can lean over. Did you want just a glass or a bottle?
Well, regardless, a glass.
Okay. She comes over and she brings two wine glasses over. One, she kind of uncorks this wine bottle, pours it in. It's dark red.
I'll take the
Lovely
glass and I'll put
lovely
it like in my neck hole and hold it there.
In your neck hole, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, for a moment, and she kind of then looks to you, Ilis, and says, "Orange or pear?"
You know
It's
what?
water, Dassie.
Pear, please.
Pear. Okay. And you watch as she kind of, with your passive perception, you can see that she does a small magical incantation. You see a couple of mage hands lift up with these pears above the glass, and they begin to just compress them and pour the juice into the glass, this pear juice into this wine glass. So for
Still
the,
not as cool as a cloud. Sorry.
it's not. This is still this is still cast as a shanty town. So
Yeah, no, I get it. It's fine.
So for the single glass of wine and the orange for the pear juice, silver and 5 copper. For the
Do you want me
drinks.
to play?
I'll do it. Don't worry.
Oh, excuse
We'll
me.
have to ask to have the glass back though.
Yeah. We'll get it back. As long as I don't move my head too quickly. Do you have a dart table?
Is there somebody that could teach him how to play darts?
I've got to learn to play darts tonight. I'm not to make my captain proud.
It is not required, Balkin. It's something that you can do if you want to.
I want to do it. I want to do it.
She kind of looks.
Everything that people say to you is an order, my friend.
She kind of looks at Vulcan and kind of looks to you, Ilis, with kind of a nodding look, and she kind of says, "Well, my son is currently not on shift, and he is known to be quite good at darts. I can send a message to him. If you take a seat up on a raised area."
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Moment.
That would be brilliant. Thank you.
Okay. So.
At this point,
Maybe-
probably Quarantine would come in, sit at the bar, and hope somebody buys her a drink because she's got no money left.
Okay. So, we'll do. So, check-in, Phineas. What are you up to now?
I will. Was it this place that there was like an upstairs to a bar where like the captains hung out?
Yes, that is in the Gold Carver's Chisel as well.
I'll head there.
Gold Carver's for kind of world building and setting. Gold Carver's Chisel is the tavern of Orala's Tomb. It's big. It's run by this dark elven family, and there's a captain's lounge. There's all kinds of bar sports, if you will. It's a little bit pricey compared to the regular drinking holes around the city, but it's a good place to go if you're a visiting captain.
Yeah, I'll go get on my smoker's jacket.
Okay.
if Eyeless will probably, with his passive, see Quarantine come in.
Yep.
And just sit at the bar. So, knowing, obviously having met her, and with my passive insight, would I be able to read?
Make an active insight check for me, please.
Cool. That'll do. That's not bad. 20.
20. Okay. What kind of mood is Quarantine in at the moment?
She's frustrated, a little angry, but trying to curb it, and angry at herself, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Eyeless will go to the end of the bar and just call the very nice barkeep over.
How could I help you?
Darling, would you get the nicest bottle of wine that you can get for 5 gold and send it to that lovely young lady down there, please?
Certainly. But she kind of leans in and says, I've heard good things about her, but she tends to disappear after a day.
She's the first mate on the ship that I recently become a part of.
Then you know.
Of course.
She
Okay.
giggles and takes the 5 gold, wanders over.
Hey, I just want to point out, if I come back, they get seconds.
She's seen a good few people ruined by you because you disappear and then they have to leave and they never see you again.
Pirate's life.
She then kind of nods, taking the gold in, kind of checks through the selection, this wall of wine bottles. Mage Hand pulls one out with a glass, wanders over to you, Quarantine, and kind of places the glass in front of you, and then Lan places the bottle.
Oh.
A drink purchased for you for your crewmate down the bar. You see Eyeless.
And then I'll sort of just turn back and sort of go back into conversation with Balkin.
Balkin's just sitting there, people watching, and just keeps smiling at everyone that walks past and sort of trying to wave at them. But obviously, being a dive bar, no one's sort of making eye contact or.
It's not massively divey. It's a little bit up class, but just because everybody in our arms team is rich.
You get her a drink then.
It seemed like the nicest thing to do.
She looks upset.
I mean, I did get that, and that's why I sent her the bottle of wine.
Maybe talking to her would help instead of.
Balkin, if she wants to talk, she'll come to us.
Maybe she wants a hug.
You know what? Maybe. If you want to go and give her a hug, then you do that. But please, for the love of the Moon Mother, give me the glass of wine first.
I'm not going to. I have to not pressure people into having a hug.
Well, you could always go and ask her.
No, she'll make me clean something.
We're not on the ship, Balkin.
She's still the first mate, and I heard she's everyone's mate as well. But
okay, darling, you do what you wish, but if you want to, then I would possibly go and offer her a.
no, it's all right. I'll wait here because the person's coming to teach me.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't want to miss him.
That's fine.
Mm.
But we're not going to miss him. It's fine.
How will we know what he looks like?
I presume that he will have some sort of resemblance to the barkeep.
Okay.
Eyeless, you kind of, as you're talking about him, you can see walking up this dark elven fellow with kind of short white hair, similar orange eyes to the barkeep, and kind of a smile on his face. Kind of walks over.
This may be the gentleman now.
Hello. I
Hello.
heard that someone was wanting to play darts.
Yes, me.
Dear wishes to. Well,
we can certainly give it a go.
Okay.
They have some good boards up there and some darts that you can borrow.
Okay.
I'm always willing to teach people. It's a sport of my own.
I'm always willing to learn. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Vancor.
Angle.
Vancor Devent, but you probably know Devent already. He kind of he
Let's
looks
laugh at
across. He kind of looks across to the lady behind the bar and says, "Mama, I'll be teaching these folks." She kind of nods and resumes what she was doing.
Are you going to learn as well, Ines?
No, darling, I'm going to watch and admire.
Okay.
So what we'll do for this is, he takes you up and kind of shows you the board and explains the basics of it. He says, "You throw the darts, and where they land, you get points for."
I get that. I'm not stupid.
In the game we'll be playing, try and score as many points as you can. Okay.
Okay.
This ring here means that you get double the points on the outside. This ring here, you get triple. If you landed right in the middle, you get 50 points.
Okay.
Okay. So I will show you how I do it first, and then we'll try and find a form for you.
You just throw the thing, surely. It's not.
There is a trick to it. And he kind of stands up at the oki. And you watch as he, the first dart he throws, I don't know much about darts. So he throws 3 darts and they land very well. He scores pretty decently. There's
180 is the max score.
I'm aware. He lands a 60 on his second dart, and he ends up with a score of probably around 152. So good throwing.
A quick aside to all of our viewers: if that's an incorrect dart score where you can't get the 3 darts, don't talk to us about it. We don't.
I was about to say this is killing me.
I throw sharp things at the board and sometimes hit it. That's all you need to know.
152, I'm pretty sure, is not a possible score, but we'll gloss
Isn't it
over
2
that
treble
because
20s and a double 16?
Pub javelins.
we will gloss over that because this is not a darts channel. This is a D&D channel.
Yeah, he scores decently well. And he kind of says, "You have to have a good arm. You want to throw it.
I have
cleanly,
2.
and keep watch on the board. Look where you want the dart to go. It will help you. Give it a go. I'd like you to make 3 dexterity checks for me, please.
Checks.
And perhaps next session I will look up some rules for playing darts.
Natural 1 to start off with.
Okay.
And then a 16. And then a 8.
So natural 1, 16, and an 8. Okay. So you throw the first one, and it hits the board on the metal ring, on one of the metal rings, and pings off.
Do you get points for that?
It clatters off of Iris's shield. And
you said you weren't going to play.
Vancor kind of, ooh. But the other 2 darts, the second one you throw, double 20. So pretty good throw. The other throw kind of lands somewhere, scores like 7.
Okay, thank you. I know darts now. Thank you for your help.
Perhaps a bit more practice.
No, I'm good.
Falcon, we have time.
47.
I got better. The first one didn't do so good. Yep.
This is only the first round. You have to You have to do it multiple times. And that
that
is before
all?
we get in trying to score specific numbers.
It's a bit boring.
Falcon, you've just started, darling. At least give it a bit more of a try.
Okay.
We're not going to go through this again like with the last time, and we're going to end up with a chest full of things that you wanted to try, and then just threw to one side when you got bored, like 3 minutes in.
Okay. Game on.
That's what I like to hear. You seem a fine fellow as well. I not get your name.
My name is Alice.
Ilis. Would you like to partake as well? Make it interesting.
Yeah, go on.
No, thank you.
Go
I
on. Go
know my name.
on.
And more to the point, I do not. Had a couple of bad experiences.
Understandable. Right. And he goes into spiel, kind of trying to help Balkin with the kind of like positioning, and he's trying to figure out how to get Balkin to do it well, considering that Balkin's got a big bulky shell on his back.
Mhm.
But that's where we'll leave that there. Aldris, what are you up to? I've checked in with you in a moment.
Aldris spent quite a long time looking at Ishman's ship and staring at the ring on his finger, which obviously has Orala's symbol and the temple, and it's feeling a bit strange. It's like I've been here, but I haven't been here. It's very odd. And I think I'll just sit on the deck of the ship,
Fair enough.
just tapping on the deck, just tapping a little hum of looking across at Ishman's ship as
You're
the sun
doing that,
sets.
you hear clacking. So it'd be very reminiscent to you as a player of claws on wood. You
Right.
see this small wolf walk up onto the deck, kind of looks at you,
Hello.
does this odd shrugging motion, and kind of wanders over and kind of sits down on the other side and seems to be looking up at the sky.
Sort of look at the wolf. Is it wearing a collar or anything like that?
No collar. It seems to be kind of like shaggy white and grey fur. That is quite small.
I will
for
look up at the sky to
wolf.
see what it's looking at.
It seems to be looking at the away from the sunset, looking towards kind of like the darker part of the sky, looking towards the stars and the moon.
Well, it's all very shiny. I'm Aldris, by the way. What's your name?
It doesn't seem to be paying you much attention.
Ah, strong silent type, eh? And I'll just sort of sit and look up at the section of sky that the wolf is looking at. Every now and again, just look down at the wolf. Huh. You're quite furry. Do you mind if I just, touch an ear or something?
Kind of shrugs.
And I'll just sort of stroke its ear. That's quite soft.
Make an animal handling check for me.
Oh no. Oh, it's not too bad.
It's quite funny because people that
rolled off a natural 1 onto a 7, so I've got 11.
11.
Yeah.
Wolf kind of puts up with it for a bit and then kind of moves a little, kind of shuffles a bit away from you.
That's fair. I have this effect on people, and wolves, it seems, as well. So,
Shrugs.
it's been one of those days, really. And again, I'll just go back to staring at Ishman's ship and looking between that and the temple and the town that seems unfamiliar and the temple and the ship that seems so familiar. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Okay. Phineas, what are you up to?
Yeah, I've made it to the captain's lounge. I don't know, just hang out there with a whiskey and a cigar and try and make some conversation with some other captain.
Yeah, there seems to be a game of cards going on.
Yeah, I'll join into that.
Join in with that.
Always trying to
It's
pick
pleasant.
up.
There's no gambling going on tonight. It seems.
That sounds good. I'll
I
always
assume-
try and pick up on any gossip, anything that might be of interest to.
Okay. Make a
to
perception check.
business.
Lack, are you accompanying the captain whilst he's on shore?
I wouldn't. Well, I would have accompanied him in, but not upstairs because that's captains only.
Okay.
When he was up there and safe, I go and get a honeymead and
Yeah.
go and sit near quarantine. Quarantine.
I'll
God.
say that's.
And when he sits down, you see his proboscis slowly unwind from his mouth like a straw and suck up the honeymead.
I'll say it's probably a silver for the honeymead.
Yep, no worries.
What did you get perception there, Phineas?
Just 10.
Just 10. What's that? Okay. There's kind of some talk between the captains, and one of the captains. Well, I sailed in just this morning, and those bodies are very macabre. You know. Well, I mean, they're the rebels that attacked High Wing. You ask me, they could have gone through a bit more pain. Quite honestly. Yeah. Are you you're captain of Ulster, aren't you? Kind of pointing to you, Phineas.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. The attack was nasty, but it's good to know that those bastards, the godless bastards, are drying up now. I can't stand them.
Yes.
But
Is
things are
this,
weird now.
is this something that we heard before?
The
Uh,
rebel attack on High Wing was the reason that Garvey kind of redirected the Elusive Tide, and chasing down the rebels was what led to Garvey's death.
Okay. Yeah. That all rings bells. It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, well well as the ones talking about them going through a bit more pain, sort of vocalize agreement with that.
Okay. And they keep playing cards and talking nonsense about the damn godless rebels, and then the topic shifts to talking about gold and how there seems to be fewer islands now and stuff like that. Black, are you listening out as well, or
Oh no, I said I was downstairs with drinking my.
are you just drinking? So,
Yeah, well, I would be listening out for any rumours or anything that's going on.
make a perception check for me, please.
Okay.
That's what I assumed you were doing. You always
Right,
do that.
That's a 25.
25. Okay, you hear everything. Wow. Okay, you hear a bit of talk again about the rebels that attacked High Wing being the ones strung up in the harbour. You hear some vague rumours. Couple of halflings sat off to the side. Oh yeah, I mean, like, what do you think's going on down there? Like, Marquez normally rules like that. Rules with 9 tooth, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. It's just what I'm hearing. Like, a lot of them are in disarray. I heard rumours that Melody's purpose got sailed out. It's like, that shit doesn't exist, you idiot.
It's the one that we met, wasn't it?
Yes, that's the ship you met, and they
Uh,
said that they were heading south to go talk with sharks.
And do I know what Marquez is?
You definitely know what Marquez is. Marquez is one of the pirate gods,
Ah,
the
right.
god of predators and blood, giant shark.
Ah, right. So that's where his purpose is going.
You also hear sounds like you also hear from another table. You know, Vralakmir has been quite an easy target as of late, you know? Yes, but it's not our work. Really? Who would have thought it was? Karn's been putting heavy taxes on them. No, not him. It's something out of Tal Hazar. The entire city seems to be out of the prince's hands now. You think we could make a pretty penny going on an attack? More money in Carian nowadays.
In what?
Carian.
Carian.
So there's that. And then the last rumor you hear, because you were listening, you rolled really well there. You hear those two halflings again. They kind of change topics. You also hear up north. It's crazy. I mean, Urala's like got things under control, but apparently, right, a merchant ship just sailed straight into Khan's throne. No, you're making that up. No, I'm being serious. It was this ship. It's called the Sea King. Sailed right up, ignored all of the pirate vessels. They seem to just let it, apparently. You've had one too many to drink. And they kind of start arguing and gets into a punch up, and you then watch the barkeep. I had her name, but it's now gone from my head. Syrah. She kind of waves a hand, and you watch this two large arcane hands grab the two of them by the scruff of their collars, and then just chucks them out of the tavern.
Fair enough.
She kind of dusts off her hands and returns to what she was doing.
So I'll mentally store up that to repeat back to the captain when I next meet him.
Okay.
But I'm not going to, because my brain isn't as good as Lax, and I'll forget them by next time. Well,
Okay.
as I'm not going to be here for the next 2 weeks.
Of course. Okay. Well, we'll see what we'll do with that.
I don't know what we're going to do with that. You usually so chatty.
I know.
So, unless there's anything else anyone wants to do as the day turns to night, and the crew discuss.
I would have been quite sensible on the drink front, as from what the captain said.
Some of the crew haven't.
But 100% Klein, as he's at basically the Spit and Sawdust Inn, would have been looking out for any rumblings going on. More so to, he's a big lad, just to assert dominance and try and break it up, just to help the people. He goes there quite often when he's here, so just to not to make the fight this time, because I think the last time we was down there we had a arm wrestling competition.
As you're kind of sitting there drinking, you can see Proshka at the table that she's been sat at. There is a stack of mugs. She looks to be at least 20 in, and not slowing down. And she's starting to get quite ornery. And you see this this tiefling. He's quite well built, and he looks like a hard man. And make an insight check for me, please.
I don't know. Oh, fuck. My God, I'm playing a character who isn't proficient in insight?
What? How does that work?
And I still roll a 19. So for a non-natural 20.
For 20. Yeah.
Nice.
This guy's going to regret his decisions. He's walking towards Proshka.
Seeing that she's 20 in, I just assumed that I'm like 10 in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I keep an eye just in case she does. I know she's a good fighter. I know she's built like me, but just in case she has a slip, I am
Okay.
like eyes on.
This tiefling kind of walks up, kind of strutting his stuff, being kind of like, well, he kind of starts talking with Proshka, and it starts to get a bit heated, and Proshka very clearly does not like this guy. And he's talking the big talk, and what's your passive perception?
Mine's only 14.
14. That's enough to see there's a little bit of frost kind of building around Proshka's mouth as she's talking to this guy.
Klein stands up, knowing that Proshka, about 20 in, may not see him, and then slowly starts to walk towards and is just on the lookout for either a nod or a no type.
Proshka is not paying attention to you. She's paying attention to this guy. He says something, and she frowns, and she stands up to the point where she's standing like a full head above this guy. And he's looking up at her, being all tough man still.
Yeah, I continue walking up then.
You see the tough man wheel back to throw a punch at her.
How does she look like? Does she look like she can defend it or not? I mean, 20 in.
With your insight
I'd
check,
struggle.
with your insight check, you know that Proshka, when she wants to be, is one of those just immovable objects, and B, 20 in is like a decent night for Proshka. Proshka's got like +5 constitution. She can handle a lot. So make of that what you will. Proshka's not. This guy also looks a bit weedy.
Still feel like casually walking up, but I'm just going to see what happens.
The punch lands to a kind of like against her muscle, and he kind of looks up at her, and she just grabs his arm and throws him across the bar towards where the barkeeper is, and he just slams against the wood, kind of falls to the floor and kind of staggers up.
I think if I'm near him by this point, I'd give him a swift kick to the body as walking past.
Make an attack roll.
Unarmed, really, isn't it? 14.
Yeah, I'll say that hits. You give him a good kick in the gut as he's trying to get up. And he's like, "Ugh." And he kind of crawls over away from you. I assume you're walking towards Proshka.
Yeah, I'll walk towards Proshka and I'll be like, well, nicely handled there, Proshka. You know, do you like a fight?
He said that I was drinking too much. I proved him wrong.
Well,
Fucking asshole.
20 is a good night for you, but I'm now going back. The captain said I had to be a bit sensible.
Sensible?
Well,
What
we're
you
leaving.
mean?
We're leaving
Fine.
early in the morning.
Fucking drink.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I know I'm not this sensible,
Yeah.
but the captain says it.
Fine. She kind of looks across the bar, and she spots the Ordinal and Vanril, the twins. And
I'll
you
leave
swear you saw for a minute that she licked her lips. Or what lips she has, very well.
Right, I'll
Okay. I will return to the boat.
Not
you
alone,
watch,
though.
she walks over to the twins. They kind of look up at her, and then she fireman carries both of them back to the boat.
I'll just follow her.
So, Aldris, you see Klein and Proshka returning, and Proshka has these two half elves, kind of one on each shoulder, both of them kind of leaning back, talking to each other as she's walking along.
Mr. Klein, is this a normal occurrence?
Normal, yes, but
Okay.
regular, no. But yes, it
I
happens.
mean, it doesn't have to be regular to be normal, does it?
Well, no,
She
I
looks
suppose
over at you, Aldris, and she says, "You're welcome to join if you want, but I'll be busy with these two for a while."
Join you in what? Exactly.
And she then looks over at the wolf and says, "You've got Growlin keeping you company."
I've got
The wolf kind of looks over at her, and
Ah,
you swear it rolled its eyes at her.
that's a very intelligent wolf.
Klein, how long have you been on this boat?
I think it's like 2 years.
2 years. You most likely know that wolf is Growlin, Darkspan, the chef.
Yeah.
He just does this sometimes. Nobody really tries to call him out on it because,
I mean,
nobody knows
this
how he
wolf
reacts.
has been a perfect companion for the last hour or so. We've just been sitting quietly.
He looks at you.
Quite pleasant.
He looks at you, Klein, and just kind of shrugs and returns to looking at the sky.
I think with that, Klein will be like, yeah, right, well, Captain's orders, I'm going to bed early. And I'll give Growlin a little bit of a rough scratch in between the ears and be like, right, no, Mr. Aldris, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Good night, Mr. Klein.
Yeah.
So,
As it starts to get a bit late, sort of Eyeless will direct himself and Balkin back to the ship, but he'll give Vancor sort of 3 gold for teaching.
thank you. I appreciate it. Be sure to come back anytime. I'd certainly like to see how you improve, Balkin. And
Okay.
He kind of nods to you, Eyeless, and you can see that he's grown a bit weary of the past couple of hours.
I told you it was boring.
Balkin, darling, you find everything boring, apart from wild shaping.
Oh. Do you want to ride back to the ship?
No, because
I turn into a horse.
Fine. And then I'll just basically climb on Balkin's back.
And we ride into the sunset.
You draw a lot of attention as you kind of leave.
Yeah, to the bar.
Black Quarantine, the two of you kind of see Balkin turn into a horse and Eyeless riding on him.
Oh, I would have been eyeing Eyeless since he got me the wine.
Now he's on the back of a horse. It's like an Old Spice advert.
Look at
I'll
me.
rear up.
Watching him ride away, she'll just sort of go, get up and then look for somebody.
With his
Okay.
basically sort of like his hair comes down to like his shoulder blades, so his hair's blowing in the wind.
Yeah, probably the
Quarantine,
closest
what-
approximation of Eyeless that she can find left in the bar.
Okay. You can see Beck from the crew currently sat drinking. However, you've never had any luck with him.
So I know that, so I
Um,
wouldn't bother.
But you do see a couple more water genasi. You see a half elf who's kind of like, you see one of the performers. He's kind of sat in the corner, just kind of relaxing. He's got his shirt kind of draped down because he's showing off his chest a bit, relaxing and smoking. So, you're basically going to be sleeping with the lead guitarist. So yeah. Last two to check in with then, Phineas, Lack. Anything you're doing before the end of the evening?
Just wait for the boss to come down and then escort him back.
I will at some point head down,
Okay.
head back with Lack.
Okay. So Eyeless and Balkan, you guys return to the ship. Aldris, you see Eyeless riding a horse.
Good evening, Mr. Eyeless. Your steed is new. Some
The
sort of
horse is
gambling
trying
deal?
to smile at you.
Is that horse
It's
going to eat
It's
me?
just all teeth.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like the
very
donkey out of Shrek.
He's
I'm not really sure that I trust an animal that does
He's-
that.
he's smiling at you.
Just wait till
Smiling
it tries
or
to hug
trying
you.
to
And then
eat me. I'm not sure which
Ul-
is. the one.
Aldris will just see sort of Iris pick up this sort of small whistle from beneath his breastplate and just give 2 quick blasts on it,
You've done that
and then-
before.
drop it back into his breastplate.
You've done that
Hello.
before, haven't you? Yes. Yes. Ah,
the horse
ah,
turned to Vulcan.
Mr. Balkan.
The wolf is kind of looking at you, Balkan, with a kind of tilting his head as though it's trying to understand you.
Welcome back.
I
This
will-
is my wolven friend.
Ooh. Hold on. Yes, I will turn into a dire wolf.
You turn into a wolf. You're
Right.
a couple of sizes bigger than the other wolf, and kind of looks at you, nods, and then kind of returns to looking at the sky.
This is what he does. He just sort of sits and looks at the sky, which is it's quite. It's quite
I will
nice,
go
actually.
next to this wolf and sit and look at the sky with the new wolf.
Excellent.
Okay.
Now there's 2 of them.
Yes, well, he does that sometimes. It's just that sometimes he also forgets to come out of his wild shape,
Right. Interesting.
which is why I've got the whistle.
The control whistle. Gotcha.
Well, it's less a control whistle; it's more reminding him that he's.
Oh, you sort of conditioned him to answer your calls,
Well, it's
so to
more
speak.
Yeah, kind of. It's more a case of he got harpooned once because he stayed in his form for too long.
Ouch.
So it's kind of for his health that I remind him to come back to.
I mean, that sounds fair. A little weird, but fair.
We look out for each other.
That's absolutely fine.
How did you get on with your competition, Mr.
I'm
Aldris?
afraid to say that I lost, which is not a usual thing for me to do.
Did you know?
Well, officially, I lost. Unofficially, I suspect some kind of skullduggery occurred. But I can't prove it, and the first mate is the first mate, so the captain has decided that the first mate has won, so the first mate has won.
You will have to tell me how you did that with the ring sometime.
Did that what with the ring?
Right you are, Mr. Aldris. Right you are.
Not sure what you mean. Oh, do you mean the spell that I cast?
Yes,
It's a spell.
right. So my statement still stands. You have to show me how you did that sometime.
Well, I'm not sure I can, you see, because it was a spell.
I forgot how good Aldris is at answering questions.
And then Iris literally will just turn and go and sort of balance on the bowsprit.
Right. And I'm the creepy one. Gotcha.
Observing the movement.
Okay. And eventually, Aldris, Quarantine, are you returning to the ship with this?
No, I'd just go back to his room, and then as soon as it was done, I'd sort of get off and do like the walk of shame with my half bottle of wine that I've got
Okay.
left.
So, Aldris, you probably see Phineas and Lack return first.
Captain, welcome back aboard. As
Okay,
you can see, I have a couple of wolven companions. They seem to like staring at the sky. Not sure
One of the
why,
wolves you
but
definitely recognise as Growlin. Not certain on the other one, but you could probably make an educated guess.
Evening, gentlemen. I trust you've all had good evenings.
Small
absolutely.
wolf kind of looks and nods to you.
Ooh.
I think everyone is accounted for. Well, apart from your first mate. She has not made an
Sure.
appearance back yet.
She will probably be back in the morning.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure she'll be back as soon as she's ready.
I'll just nod to the captain and head up into the fly's nest.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Black. Okay.
Well, I will retire for the evening.
Good night, Captain.
You see various of the other crew slowly returning. Some of them kind of like wave to the small wolf and kind of confusedly look at the other larger wolf and kind of give you a nod, Aldris, as they come on. Eventually,
I'll just be staring at the moon. Probably fall asleep on the deck.
Okay. Eventually, Quarantine, you return to the Elusive Tide.
I will go over to Garland and give him the biggest fuss ever. So much so that he'd probably be embarrassed if it was anybody else but me.
Garland kind of... I would say it looks like he's begrudgingly accepting it, but he likes it.
Good evening, First
Who's-
Mate.
Hello, Garland. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You been having a good time?
Ruff.
I bet. Who's your friend?
Shrugs.
I'm Aldris. I think we've met before.
Talking
The other
about
wolf
the
is-
other wolf,
The other wolf is
Oh, that's
asleep.
Vulcan.
of course. Hello, Balkan, and I'll give him a little tentative.
Vulcan's having one of those. Vulcan's having one of those doggy dreams.
He was a horse before he came on
Yeah,
board.
yeah. Vulcan's dreaming that he was a horse.
As a wolf.
Right,
Fantastic.
I'm going to bed.
Good
And she'll
night,
give
First Mate.
Balkan a little bit more fuss before going.
Okay. So, with the crew of the Elusive Tide kind of settling down for a nice relaxed rest, that is where we'll leave it for today.
Cool.
So I hope you all enjoyed.
Thank
Pick
you.
up tomorrow.
Certainly did.
Tomorrow, next week.
I know it's
We'll pick
late,
up next week.
so the only thing I want to say is that Balkan saying you just have to throw it is like telling a painter any monkey can pick up a brush and paint. I was like, no!
Awesome.
You do. You just have to throw it.
And yeah, Vancor was rather hurt by that statement as well.
Well, yes, it was really good fun. Thank you, Jay.
Yes,
For
thank you.
organising.
Thank you all.
Hope it
And,
went well.
thank you all for
The
playing. It was good fun.
competition was interesting.
It
Only, I just that streak of luck was so bad.
It
Now
was awful.
it was awful. But hey ho.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Decided
but
as well.
nice.
I
It's
will
what
say
it is.
you did pick one of the better merchants to sell to be fair. So
To be fair, she's got much more experience with the merchants there than I have. So.
yes. Well,
had
these,
she?
these merchants kind of change and adjust, so she may not have seen them before. But
Okay, fair enough.
as stated, she did make a misjudgment about. Well, you never asked his name.
Rude.
You didn't ask mine either.
But none of you were interested in the half elf. So
Well, it depends. I think I probably got the best deal I could, to be honest.
yeah, probably.
I mean, maybe could have got a bit more if that merchant had some more money
Yeah.
available.
Almost as if she was kind of like new to the hobby and didn't have a huge amount of money because she spent it all on gems to make jewellery.
Exactly. But, you know.
But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that.
Yes,
And
Yeah.
we'll pick up next week.
indeed.
And
Uh,
Balkin and Islet have a chest at what they would consider their home port, literally just full of hobbies that Balkin took up and found boring.
His box of forgotten hobbies.
Yeah.
Be a D&D item.
But like a trumpet, a deck of cards,
And Dan definitely doesn't have one of those.
No.
Absolutely not. Cool. Right. Okay. So we will end there. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you, Jade, for DMing, PMing, and we will be back here next Tuesday for episode 4 of the Elusive Tide. So we'll see you then. Goodbye.